Good morning, friends. Myself, Pawan Nagoda, Assistant Professor in Civil Engineering Department. I hope all of you are safe and doing well. In previous two lectures, we have seen the introduction part of Geographic Information System. In second part, we have seen the history behind the GIS. Today, we are going to see, or we are going to learn the component parts of GIS, as well as we are going to end up with this topic, GIS, with the application of GIS. The development of GIS has relied on innovations made in many different disciplines like geography, cartography, photogrammetry, remote sensing, and many more. As far as the component parts of GIS is concerned, we are having five component parts of GIS, namely hardware, software, people, data, and method. Many other web pages or any other journals may say that there might be four, there might be six components, but I have taken it as five components. So let us start with the first component, hardware. Now, as far as the hardware is concerned, computer on which GIS operate is the hardware we require. Today, GIS software runs on a wide range of hardware types, from centralized computer servers to desktop computers used in stand-alone or network configurations. It will be a main part, a chief part of GIS, but we don't require a supercomputer or any big computer. A small computer or a small mobile phone, smartphone can also work as an hardware for GIS. Second one is the software. In the software, GIS software provides functions and tools needed to store, to analyze, and to display geographic information. Here, the key components of the softwares are tools for the input and manipulation of geographic information, a database management system, the tools that support geographic query, analysis, and visualization. And last one is a graphical user interface for easy access to the tool. Next component part is data. Possibly the most important component of GIS is the data on which GIS works. Geographic data and related tabular data can be collected in-house or purchased from a commercial data provider. Maybe the data might be coming from remote sensing, it might be coming from the field, as we have seen in the previous lecture. GIS will integrate the spatial data with other data resources and can even use a database management system used by most organizations to organize and maintain their data, to manage spatial data. So the key functions of the data is to store the data. Next one is the people. GIS technology of limited value without the people who manage the system and develop plans for applying to real world problems. GIS users range from technical specialists who design and maintain the system to those who use it to help them perform their everyday work. Lastly, the procedures, or we can say methods. A successful GIS operates according to a well-designed plan and business rules, which are models and operating practices unique to each organization. From drafting designs, from implementing plans, to necessary investments in hardware and software. This all comes under the methods or procedure of or the component parts of this GIS. So next part will be the applications of GIS. What are the different applications of GIS? Now here you can see an image which was taken from the aircraft. So we can say it as a aerial photo which was taken from a moving, let us say, at least. Now you can see a beautiful landscape, a beautiful image over here. And in this image, is it possible to find out what is the area under this greenery, or which area is covered by this plants, or which area is covered by this residential elements? So by using GIS, we can also find out the answers to all these questions. Let us see. Now, sometimes the best way to learn about GIS is to see how it is being used. Many other parts of the GIS where applications you can find of the GIS: science, emergency management, government record keeping, business locations, environmental management and planning. So let us start from the agriculture. India is an agricultural country, and almost 80% of the people will be dependent or directly or indirectly with the agriculture. So many other things can be easily done by using the GIS. Suppose the picture in front of is show a small area of agricultural with different colors. Let us suppose that this color shows the different types of crops taken. So by using this rectangles, or by finding out the areas of this rectangle, we can find out what is the area under those particular crops. This is your first application of GIS. Second is, suppose the crops may have to do some pest control. The crops may have some diseases. So those can be easily tracked by using this GIS, the network provided by the GIS. The monitoring of crops can be easily done by using GIS. What is the area under crops? What will be the yield after few months, few days? What will be the yield can be found out by using GIS. Also, analysis of soil can be done by using the GIS methods. Second will be the natural resource management. By using this GIS, we can find out the bauxite mines in the, say, any particular area. We can find out the petroleum area where petrol or any other products of petroleum can be easily found out. The water resources, in the field of water resources, we can also find out the way or the efficient area where water can be easily stored. Suppose we require to construct some dam. So dam requires a proper site or an ideal site to store the water behind the dam. So these are the some few points where we can use the GIS. Planning and economic development is the third application of GIS. We can find out the use of the land. The land might be used for residential purpose. The land might be used for the agricultural purpose. The land might be underwater. This can be easily found out or calculated by using the GIS. We can also forecast the population. We can also analyze the market analysis. We can also prepare some assessment for property tax assessment. We can easily plan, we can easily design the transportation facilities where we may have some high dense population or high dense traffic arrangements. Let us see. Now this is one of the chart in the Excel sheet, which is nothing but a census data in the Excel sheet. So it is very much difficult or complex thing to find out the each and every detail. And this is the pictorial view of the same data. You can see that different colors are given to the different parts of that particular area. So the dark part may show one category. The blue part will show the second category. The white part may show the third, fourth, and so on. So the main thing is we can, if we have the data in say some Excel sheet, we can plot those data by using some attributes, say rivers, say interstates, say lakes, say cities, say airports. These all can be given or can be plotted by using this GIS. Calculation of reservoir volume. Now, to find out the volume of water to be stored behind the dam is one of the tasks which cannot be easily done by the engineer in charge. So if area is having lot of undulations up and downs, so we have to provide some contour maps, and from contour maps we have to find out the area, and from area we have to find out the volume. So by using the GIS, we can see that if the map is available, we can find out the area like this. There are some softwares like ArcGIS, like QGIS. Those softwares can easily, by using those softwares, we can easily find out the volume as well as area of any shape, any size. Next one is water delineation. The watershed delineation means to draw the lines on the map to identify the watershed boundaries. So you can see that the red line shows the delineation of watershed. So this means that this is the area where watershed is there. So we can find out also what was the area which is affected by this watershed. So and so forth are the applications to the agricultural field. Next one is the traffic simulation. GIS is employed to provide the primary user interface, process network data, derive shortest time path, and visualize the results. The traffic simulation engine is used to simulate incidents in a network, gather link travel times at regular intervals, and transmit this time-dependent information to the GIS. This is the transforming of GIS data into a functional road model for large-scale traffic simulation. So you can see in the map, this is the map taken, say from Google Earth software, and you can see some road is there, and by using this map, we can simulate the traffic problems. Next, which might be other than some simulating point of view. So this is the California wildfires, which was done well time before, and it can be by using the GIS or web-based GIS, a total map is presented, and by using this map, some disciplinary actions was taken to minimize the disturbances to the residents. In the article shows in one of the local paper where we can see the details regarding this wildfire. Let us look at the details. Los Angeles fire map. It was in 2009. 77 contained the official fire official said today. So these are the details which can be ascertained. These are the maps which we have taken. So this is the map. On this map, you can see each and every attributes and actually the area under that particular wildfires. This is the area, and these are the different signals or different, we can say the landmarks which was given to particular area. So by using this, we can find out the details required for the GIS softwares. Next one might be These are the applications of GIS. Next is how we can go for the applications. So here we have ended with the presentation. I guess we have covered in video 1, 2, and 3 the almost many parts of GIS, Geographic Information System, and we will be in using GIS for many other applications. Now, as far as the syllabus is concerned, we have completed the GIS part, and if you have any kind of doubts regarding GIS, regarding the applications of GIS, regarding the component parts of GIS, regarding introduction or history of GIS, please comment in the comment box, or you can mail me all of your queries. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy.